The Toyota Camry is the best-selling car in the United States, which means it's also the best-selling hybrid car, because it's one and the same. The Camry is the best-selling car in the United States, but let me emphasize car. In 2024, it was the 6th best-selling vehicle overall, behind several trucks and SUVs, including the Toyota RAV4 at number 3. This 2025 model that was launched last year got some fresh styling and an all-hybrid powertrain. Every Camry gets the same one. It's based around a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine with electric motors and a continuously variable transmission that's rated at 225 horsepower in front-wheel drive versions. But you can get it with all-wheel drive, which adds another electric motor that just drives the rear axle and isn't mechanically connected to the front. That one's rated at 232 horsepower. Prices start at $29,495 for a front-wheel drive LE. With all-wheel drive, an extra $1,525. While this top-of-the-line XSC all-wheel drive starts at $37,220. Fuel economy that a hybrid is all about is very impressive. The LE front-wheel drive getting 51 miles per gallon combined, 50 with all-wheel drive. But as you move up the trims, the fuel economy goes down. That's because even though the power is the same, the efficiency is affected by the different wheel and tire sizes and changes to the bodywork on each trim, even if it is minor. So by the time you get to this XSC, which is a sportier style, you end up with 47 miles per gallon combined for the front-wheel drive version, 44 with all-wheel drive. Still pretty good, but this is something to keep in mind regardless of what kind of car you're buying, because wheels and tires and all that are going to affect fuel economy on a pure ICE vehicle just the same as a hybrid, and also an electric. And there it's even more important because you don't just lose efficiency, you lose range. It could be dozens of miles between charges, which of course is less of an issue with a hybrid, which combines efficiency with the convenience of quick fill-ups. The Camry's interior has also been restyled and features dual digital displays, which are larger on the high-end models like the XSE. But since it's a Toyota, it retains lots of easy-to-use buttons for the climate control and a volume knob. You can also get this with a 360-degree camera system and a head-up display. Lower trims get cloth or the synthetic soft text upholstery, while the XSE has leather seats that are heated and ventilated. Toyota redesigned them for 2025 to be more supportive, and while they are, I think they might be a little too firm, at least for me. On long trips, I preferred the old one, but that might be a personal preference. In the rear, there's plenty of head and leg room for a 6'1" passenger to fit behind a 6'1" driver, while the trunk has a pretty solid 15.1 cubic foot capacity. First off, I have to say it's a little bit odd driving a car these days, let alone one made in America like this is, which is built in Kentucky. The hybrid system's excellent. Toyota's been doing these for a quarter century and has it totally dialed in. You get that immediate electric motor torque first as the engine spools up, then they blend together nicely. All of the Camrys have the same suspension design with struts up front, multi-links in the rear, but the XSE's is tuned to be a little sportier. It's not meant to be a real performance car. That said, it goes around turns as flat as a pancake. Well, maybe a fluffy pancake. It feels much more at home on a curvy road like this than I would have expected, especially when you consider a lot of these spend their days as ride-hail vehicles in the city. The four-cylinder's not silent, but this doesn't use it all that much, so the car is quiet most of the time, and the road and wind noise are pretty minimal. This is very quiet on the highway. All the Camrys come standard with the Toyota Safety Sense package of electronic driver aids, which includes automatic emergency brakes, adaptive cruise control, and a lane centering feature that requires you to keep your hands on the wheel. This also has a proactive driving assist that can tell if you're coming up on a turn too quickly and will lightly slow the vehicle down. It actually works. I felt it happen a few times on this road. The XSE's Premium Plus package also has a traffic jam assist. Actually does let you take your hands off the wheel in stop-and-go traffic at low speeds, while it uses a camera to make sure you're keeping your eye on the street. Look, there's no surprise the RAV4 outsells this these days. Doesn't cost that much more, it's roomier, and the hybrid gets 39 miles per gallon. So you're not losing too much efficiency by switching to an SUV. This is still a very appealing vehicle, especially if you go for that entry-level LE that gets 51 miles a gallon. As far as the domestic competition for this is concerned, there is none from the American brands. Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, they don't make anything like this right now. In fact, the only mainstream midsize sedans made in America these days are this, the Honda Accord, and the Nissan Altima. And while the Altima is not available as a hybrid, the Honda is available as a hybrid or a pure internal combustion engine model. One thing to keep in mind about this is that even though the owner's manual calls it the Camry hybrid, it's technically just known as the Camry now, because they're all hybrids.